Welcome to the first lesson of this program. I'm so happy to have you here, and for this lesson, I'm just going to do an introduction to the stock market and make it as simple as possible. And so in this lesson, I just want to explain basically what the stock market is and how you can actually buy stocks. So what exactly is a stock? So in simple terms, a stock is just a piece of a company. For example, you can buy McDonald's stock, you can buy Facebook stock, Amazon stock, Apple stock, and the list goes on. Alright, so now I actually want to show you an example of how it works to buy a stock. Now in front of us we have Facebook stock, and Facebook stock has 5 million shares available that anyone can buy. And the price you see right here, which is $277.81, represents just one share of Facebook. Now let's say I decide to buy one share of Facebook right now that is worth $277.81. Now that means I own one small piece of Facebook worth $277.81. And if I wanted to, I could buy 5 shares of Facebook. So that means my investment would be worth $277.81 times 5. Alright, so now I want to show you another example of this, but with Tesla stock. So as you can see, the price right here, which is $585.76, represents just one share of Tesla. So if I decide to buy one share of Tesla right now, I will own a teeny piece of Tesla that is worth $585.76. And instead, if I wanted to buy 10 shares of Tesla, that means my investment would be worth $585.76 times 10. So basically, anyone can buy stocks if they want to buy a part of a company. Now next, let's talk about why we even buy stocks and how it's going to make us money. So in front of us we have Microsoft stock. So let's say on Friday, September 18, I bought one share of Microsoft for $200.39. But now, as you can see, one share of Microsoft is actually worth $215.23. So that means my 239 cents investment is now actually worth $215.23. So basically, my investment just went up $14.84. So if I decided to sell my Microsoft share right now for $215.23, I would profit $14.84. So basically, I just made money from buying a stock at a lower price and then selling it at a higher price. So basically, the goal with the stock market is to buy a stock at a low price and then sell it at a higher price to make a profit. And I do want to give another example of this. So Tesla back in November 2019, it was $65.99 per share. So let's just say I bought one share of Tesla back then for $65.99. But right now, Tesla is worth $585.76. So that means my $65.99 investment is now worth $585.76. And so this basically means I made a profit of $520. So if I wanted to right now, I could sell my Tesla share and my profit would be $520. And as you can see, just by looking at this graph right here, you can see that Tesla actually grew a lot, and so it went from $65 to $585.76, so anyone that invested in Tesla last year ended up making a lot of money. And again, to summarize, the goal with the stock market is to buy low and then to sell high. So now the next thing I want to go over is how you can actually buy stocks. Alright, so inside of this program here, you will see on day 1 and day 2 where it says open your brokerage account. I have given you instructions basically to open something called a brokerage account, which is what allows you to buy stocks. So basically, a brokerage account is just like a bank, but it lets you buy stocks. So all you have to do here is find your country, and then once you do, you just have to click on the link and then create an account. And it's going to ask you for some personal information, but don't worry, all of it is secure. It's just like a bank, and it does need your information if you're going to buy stocks. So once you have your account set up, you are all good, and now I'm actually going to show you how you can physically buy a stock once you have your account set up. Alright, so once you have created your brokerage account, what you can do is go to the App Store and see if there's an app for it. You can download it and then you can access it that way, just like how I do. And if there's no app, that's fine, you can just use Google. So basically here, what you see is my account, and the number you see, 155,000, is how much I have invested in the stock market. And if I just scroll down, it's also going to show me my positions. So basically everything you see here is all the stocks that I currently own, and so this is all part of my stock portfolio. Now let's say I am ready to buy a stock right now. So all I have to do is click on the search button in the right, and then now I just have to search up the stock I want to buy. So I'm going to say I want to buy BMO, click on that, and then in the bottom it's going to say buy. So click on buy, and now it's asking me what account I want to buy in, and I only have money in my personal account, and so I'm going to use that. And now it's asking me how many shares I want to buy. So maybe I just want to buy one, so I'm going to put one, and then it tells me how much that's going to cost me. So it says $96.77 per one share of BMO. And usually I would be able to buy the stock right now, but the stock market is actually closed. So for those who don't know, the stock market is only open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time from Monday to Friday. And so that's the only time you'll be able to buy stocks. But anyways, if it was between that time, I would have been able to just click on buy, and then it would have went through, and then I would have had the stock now. So now let's just say you bought the stock and you probably want to check on it and see what's going on. So all you have to do is scroll down, and where it says positions, it's going to show you all the stocks that you own. And here I see BMO. So all I have to do is click on BMO, and now here it's going to show me all my information on BMO stock. So here it says I have 1,005 shares of BMO. It tells me the price that I bought it for. It also tells me how much money I made from it. So it says today's return I made $824.10, and it says the total return, so how much money I made overall just by holding BMO. It says I made $1,176.85. And now let's say I wanted to cash out that profit. All I have to do is click on sell in the bottom. And that's basically all you have to do. It is honestly very simple to buy and sell stocks. And again, I just want to show you guys the home page. So the first thing you see here is this, and basically this is just a clear image of how my whole positions are doing. So it says that I am up $15,000 in 1 month. And so basically from all the stocks that I own, I am up $15,000 in 1 month. And so you'll be able to look at this basically to see the performance of all your stocks. Now the only downside with this is that I'm in Canada and I'm using this platform, which is Wealthsimple Trade. Now you're probably not from Canada, or maybe you are, but if you're not from Canada, you're going to be using a different platform. And so that means the way your platform looks might be a little bit different than mine, but they'll all do the same thing and they're still going to look fairly similar. But what I recommend you do to get comfortable with your platform is go on YouTube and search up a tutorial, or even check for a tutorial on the site. Maybe they will have a tutorial for you. Now the next part that I want to go over briefly is what stocks should you buy. So what I did, and what most people do, and I highly recommend you do as well, is start with what you already know and also invest in well-established companies. And the reason for this is because you do want to invest in a company that you believe is going to grow long term and is also going to do well. So I'll give you an example. I like Apple stock, and the reason I like it is because I like the products. I also believe in the company long term, and I think that there's going to be a lot of innovation, which is why I'm invested in Apple. Another example would be Amazon. It's a very well established company, and I believe that Amazon is going to continue growing as it is huge in the e-commerce space, and that's why I'm invested in Amazon, because I think it's going to do well long term. And so if that's you, then you should look into Amazon. Now let's say you really like McDonald's, you always get McDonald's, and you think it's a great company that's always going to be around and it's going to continue growing. Well, if you believe that, then you might as well look into investing in the company as well. And you have to remember, when you're buying stocks, you're becoming part owner of the company, and so it only makes sense if you buy stocks that you actually believe in and think that are going to do well. And I know for sure that a lot of people are going to wonder what stocks I personally invest in, and so here is the list, and these are all stocks that I believe in long term. I think they're going to do very well, and I plan to hold these for at least 5+ years. And also, don't worry about this too much. I just want to briefly go over a way you can pick stocks, but I'm actually going to show you a step-by-step walkthrough on how I personally pick stocks and pick ones that I think are going to do well long term throughout the program. So this was basically just a mini introduction. Now that is all for this lesson. I tried to keep it very simple and straightforward just to start as an introduction. Now the next lesson, there's going to be a lot more information and you're going to learn a lot more.